Many black women out there are juggling multiple responsibilities in their personal and professional lives. We all know that. But there's a burden that comes with being a boss. According to new reports, many are suffering from a mental health syndrome called Superwoman schema. According to the National Institutes of Health, it's the perceived obligation to quell emotion, convey strength, suppress dependence, vulnerability, and to prioritize caregiving over self-care. Joining us to talk.
That definition, who does that sound like? You can't be emotional. You have to show strength. You have to suppress dependency, so you have to be independent. You can't show vulnerability. And you have to put others first. That's a man. That's literally what men do. They call it a superwoman syndrome. Don't complain about it, because most men do this every day and we don't complain about this.
About it, publicist Latoya Lemon and therapist Dr. Christine Belliard. Glad to have you here both on The Factor Uncensored. Latoya, do you ever feel the pressure of the world? Because number one, you also work with celebrities.
Right.
That's extra as a publicist.
Yes.
And then you have to deal with family and life in general. When does it become too much for you as a black woman?
Why? Because of a black woman. All the stuff he just said is for everybody. That's called being a grown up. That's what men been doing for years and years and years. And we never been called Superman. Every color in the world that had to deal with stress. This is literally stress. That's literally what it is. This is stress. And they call themselves superwomen. This syndrome is literally like a janitor calling himself a custodian. Nah, nigga, you a janitor. It's like a secretary calling herself a executive assistant. You are a secretary. You want to make your title more glorified than this really is. It's like a person that's a dishwasher. Say they're engineer of water and plastic.
You know, I think more times than I probably express, because I'm so used to just, okay, on to the next thing, right? And so as you mentioned, working with celebrities, there's times where I'm the publicist, the therapist, the babysitter, the all-in-one. And so oftentimes people aren't necessarily thinking about, how is Latoya? It's more so, whatever my need is, I know Latoya can fix it. But if I fixed 50 things in one day, from family to clients to whatever the situation is, nobody may recognize that, maybe something could be broken within her. I just learned to, again, just keep myself going. And so unfortunately, the superwoman thing is not something that I embrace from a title perspective, but I think I've picked the qualifications, unfortunately. So
Has it ever?
You're not a superwoman. You are a regular adult. They made a word to put the negative connotation on being an adult. I don't like adulting. Pay bills, go to work, and pay for your lifestyle.
Ever hit you where you're like, I just need this moment to myself, quietness, or let's just let it out and cry?
Absolutely. So I did the funeral services for George Floyd several years ago. And I remember after the services, I took like 4 days and I just had both of my phones on Do Not Disturb. I didn't want to go in. I just needed the peace and quiet. And then it also made me realize, as I'm enduring so much for others, I need to make sure that I'm being expressive in the right way. And so there are times where I, take several months and I say, okay, for 90 days, I'm doing therapy every week, just so I can have an outlet. Because obviously I'm in a industry where, I can't tell everybody business. I can't tell hardly anybody's any business, but I've learned not to hold it in.
And
This woman describing a job.
Dr. Belliard, for those who don't know what to do, who don't have any outlets, don't know how to address it, what would you tell those black women out there to do?
Oh, yes. Okay, so this is most of my case.
They're making it this about black women. This is every person in the world. They just want to feel special. It's like Black Girls Rock. Only Black Girls Rock. It's just imagine if somebody put White Men Rock, and they have a fucking concert. They have a whole thing about how white men rock, or how white women rock. You know, be protesting.
I have very high functioning African American women who come in saying, I did everything on the checklist. I did the right schools, right career, right neighborhood, but I am not satisfied. Something is going on. This is too much for me to carry. And
one thing she didn't say is what? She didn't say he did the right man. All this Superwoman syndrome will be erased if you picked the right man.
so a lot of the work really is not that you have to go to therapy, but finding a safe space. If you have to be hyper vigilant, where I have to take care of this at work, at home, then that means you can't be vulnerable. If you're in a state of hypervigilance, you really are in a traumatic response, right? So it's important to find a safe, I don't want to say safe, a trustworthy space. It may not be a perfect space, but a place where you can really be honest and just as you're saying, I need, even if it's therapy, if it's a really good girlfriend, you cannot hold that in, because if you do it, we're like pressure cookers. If you hold that in, put on that top and turn up that heat, it's going to come out in one way or another.
She says if a therapist or is a really good girlfriend. She never said if it's a good man. If you have all this pressure on you, quit your job, don't have kids, and live within your means, you will have that type of pressure.
And so this is really critical, because I want to add in this. This is actually a residual effect of slavery, where a lot of what
I was just about to
it's
ask
true.
you,
Shut
so
the
black women.
This bitch talking about slavery? Hold on. Why do we go to slavery? Why? It's 2024. She's talking about slavery.
But you're saying there are ties to slavery. There's much more
There is
pressure.
much more.
You let her rock that? You let her rock that? You let her rock that? You let her say that without no pushback? Yo! When the last time you got hit with a whip? When the last time that you had to pick cotton? When the last time you had to drink in a different water fountain? When the last time you had to go to a different restroom? When the last time you had to go to a different restaurant? You tell me this from slavery? It's 2024.
We have a unique experience where for generations, our ability to be worth anything was based on what we could produce. Even literally, who we could produce.
From children to cotton picking.
Yes. And so all the narratives around, okay, you better be...
First of all, with the work is what you can produce. If I go to work and I just go and sit my ass down, don't do anything, I'm gonna get fired. With anything is what you can produce. That's a normal grown up, and for paying your bills, what you can produce, that's what it is. Picking cotton, the only cotton you pick was the cotton the length that was on your damn fucking coat or on your dress. You never picked cotton before. You going back to slavery? Because of the Superwoman syndrome? Man, y'all. It's so crazy how people want to play the victim in this nonsense.
Twice as good. You better go ahead and make sure you can do everything right. Then you really are. You can understand this Superwoman syndrome. We don't have the ability just to, okay, well, maybe I'll just have to do
be
it.
strong.
You have to.
And that's the sad thing. I think for black women, you hear this sense, strong black woman. I have never heard strong other woman.
True.
You know, and I think that puts
And
us.
you have to
The reason why you never heard strong other woman is because you all don't respect y'all black men. And y'all get the benefit on any case when it comes to black men. It's okay for you to say black men ain't shit, and people believe that. It's okay for you to say I'm an independent woman, I don't need no black man. And you get literally praise for that. Superwoman syndrome, you got what you wanted. Don't complain about it. Congratulations.
live up to that.
You have to live up to it. And the thing about being strong is who's checking on the strong one. And so if this entire, circle of black women are forced to be strong, because there's days we don't want to. There's days I would rather sit and cry. But I know if I show a sign of weakness, then things may start to crumble for me.
And really quick,
Dude, that's everybody. That's everybody in the world. If I'm at a job and I really don't feel like going today, I want to sit and cry, but I have to pay these bills, I have to shut up and go to work. You're not special.
as we end, what would you tell your community around you when it comes to checking on you? What should you suggest they do?
So I have a big thing. A lot of times people talk at me and they may text me what they want. These days I'm not responding if you're not at least saying good morning, how are you? So learn to check on people, because a lot of people are going through silent battles.
All right, we want to thank you.
So she expect her boss to text her good morning, then say, hey, I need this done. You have to understand this, man. Everybody go through shit. You're not the most important person in their life. So if I don't text you good morning, I get straight to the point, and you're not answering, you're gonna lose your job. Just imagine you text your employee, hey, did you do this last night? Then the employee didn't reply. Then you ask the employee again, hey, did you do this last night? Still didn't reply. Then you call the employee and say, hey, you get my text? It's like, yeah, I got your text. Why did you didn't reply? You didn't say good morning. What? Okay, I'm gonna say good night to your career. Hey, thanks for checking me out. Hit the like, subscribe button. If you don't, that's cool too. See y'all next time. Peace.